You and I are going to circle the globe. Live professional wrestling may be nearer to you than you ever imagined. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It, and our whirlwind trip through 5 separate continents begins up in Vancouver. Boom Pro Wrestling plays the Commodore Ballroom on Saturday night, July 26th. Over the last year and a half or so, Boom Pro Wrestling has emerged as the clear leader in the very crowded Vancouver scene, thanks in no small part to their impressive streak of 39 consecutive sellouts. At this event, the most beautiful belt in beautiful British Columbia will be contested in a triple threat bout that headlines what looks to be Boom's biggest event ever. They've already sold 800 tickets to this event. Incredible. Now let's head on down to the US of A, and a mere 2,290 miles away. That's where we'll find Waldron, Arkansas, and Lionheart Championship Wrestling. On July the 5th, they deliver Stars and Strikes, where the high-flying Golden Jet Zach Delt must fend off an invasion from the Evil Twins. But he won't be entering the fray alone. He's got backup in the form of the venerable veteran, Brandon Groom.
Oh yeah, baby! The heart of the lion, it gives the power. And that's the power in Boom, Boom, Brandon Groom! And that's the power that can live inside of you. And just know when I'm in the room, I am bringing the boom!
You can celebrate 4th of July weekend with Lionheart Championship Wrestling. They'll be at the Scott County Boys and Girls Club. Let's hop on I-20 and set the cruise control. We can make it to Poplarville, Mississippi, just in time for all the mayhem. Crusade Pro Wrestling has only been around for a few months, but they've quickly carved out a reputation for themselves in the Magnolia State. Crusade Pro brings the mayhem to the National Guard Armory, and already signed for July 12th, Jacob Walker takes on Steve O'Malley, Kelly Clark takes on Raza Rayleigh, and more match announcements are coming out practically every day. Just over the border, in Louisiana, is where Wildcat Sports is teaming up with Only Wrestlers to present the Bayou Beatdown Super Show. And if you want to catch some live professional wrestling on a Thursday night, you gotta get to West Wego. It's all headlined by the former Jinder Mahal, alongside the likes of Rob Van Dam, my old pal Violent J from ICP, Tully and Tessa Blanchard will be there too, and of course, Louisiana's own Luke Hawx. Tickets are available right now through Eventbrite for this super show taking place on July the 10th. When we go west of West Wego, just by 495 miles or so, we'll find a building called the Lordatorium, and it is there that pro wrestling meets faith-based ministry. They form the tag team I could have never predicted, but that's exactly what you'll discover underneath the banner of Ephesians Pro Wrestling, based in Fate, Texas. On July the 12th, the EPW Texas title will be defended by the Hillbilly Outlaw. He meets the challenge of Dewey Declan, and we are bound to see a triumphant appearance by Adam the Apocalypse Asher, who, after 25 years with the organization, finally captured the EPW heavyweight title. Congrats, APOC. You have certainly paid your dues, brother. South of the border, down Mexico way, is where we're headed on July the 12th to Strong Classic Wrestling. They're headquartered in the vibrant city of Morelia. For my money, it's the most beautiful town in all of central Mexico. If Strong Classic Wrestling is new to you, you need to know you don't just get classic lucha libre at one of their events. You will clearly see and feel the influence of Japanese, European, and American wrestling as well. Even though SCW's been around for more than a decade now, they have really hit their stride in just the last 2 years, offering up some of the most diverse cards being put on in Mexico right now. And they're adding a little British flavor to their July card with the imminent debut of UK veteran rapid fire Tommy Gunn. There's no shortage of coverage of the entire North American wrestling scene, the US and Canada and Mexico and the Caribbean, and yet, comparatively, it does feel like The South American wrestling scene goes largely overlooked. Well, let's see if you and I can't course correct for that just a little bit, because there is a flourishing scene down in South America. I've been able to find wrestling in every country with the exceptions of Venezuela and Suriname. And I don't mind telling you that until very recently, I thought Suriname was somewhere in Asia. So you have a real sense of how your old pal Mike used to do on his geography tests. Let's spotlight just two areas that are really enjoying some great growth right now by turning our gaze first toward the equator. The city of Guayaquil in Ecuador is known as the Pearl of the Pacific. And in July, it will be home to two giant wrestling cards. Up first, on July 19th, Evolution Wrestling Ecuador will present Sangre Guerrera, literally warrior blood, and their event will feature talent not only from Ecuador, but also from Panama and Colombia. And the very following Saturday, July 26th, Alianza Ecuatoriana Lucha Libre is in Guayaquil, presenting a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal at the appropriately titled Battle of the Pearl, Batalla en la Perla. I was a little curious how long it might take to drive from Guayaquil in Ecuador down to Porto Alegre in Brazil. Now, sure, we would have to cut across Peru, and then Chile, and then Argentina, and then Paraguay to get there. And it's a 79-hour drive. So we are flying to EWF Luta Libre. The flourishing wrestling scene, not only in Porto Alegre, Brazil, but really in all of Rio Grande do Sul, owes a lot to the persistence of EWF Luta Libre. And on July 19th, they will be back at their home base, the EWF Arena, with Rota Infernal. It's a stacked card on the 19th. They've got a trios match in the main event, a best 2 out of 3 falls contest to determine the state champion, and Leon Breaker, the strongest rookie prospect to come out of southern Brazil this year, will be tested like never before. He's set to face the world-traveled Bruno Astro.
I am Bruno Astro, a fera do Brasil, and on EWF Hot Infernal, Leon Breaker. You're just gonna be one of my victims, because this ring, this is my jungle, where I unleash my fury. EWF, July 19th, it's time for Hasta la Vista, Leon!
Now, I've been in the ring with Bruno Astro myself, and I don't mind telling you, he is the hardest hitter in all of South America. So a word of advice, Leon, duck those chops. Duck them. Heading northeast, just 3 states over, is Brazil's mega city, São Paulo, and it is home to the Brazilian Wrestling Federation. São Paulo is where they record their weekly television show, BWF Telecatch. It goes out to all 26 Brazilian states and has an average national viewership of 1.2 million people every single week. Thanks in no small part to the enduring popularity of their weekly television show, the BWF has become one of the most sought-after entertainment acts in all of Brazil. So much so that they are teaming up with the annual Anime Friends convention inside the Expo Pavilion in São Paulo to present 2 live events every single day of the convention. You'll see all the stars of the Brazilian Wrestling Federation there on July 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. We need to head to the other side of the Atlantic Ocean for African Punishment Wrestling Association. They just kicked off the 4th season of their YouTube series, Anarchy, so that you can get all caught up with everything that's been going on over in Johannesburg. The APWA crew is already en route to their July 24th event. It's Survival of the Fittest. Whoever ultimately emerges victorious from the Survival of the Fittest gauntlet match will get the keys to unlock a very unique opportunity. They'll be able to challenge any opponent or for any title at any time of their choosing. Come on, we gotta hop continents or we'll never make it up to Baden, Austria in time for the Summer Crush doubleheader. Rings of Europe are rolling out their summer cards on July 25th and 26th inside Castle Trebiswinkel. And this is hands down the coolest venue to see pro wrestling in. It's an old European castle. Tickets are already on sale right now for both events, while ROE's been busily announcing all the talent coming from across the European Union and from the UK to be part of Summer Crush. Match announcements are expected to begin any day now. Finland is getting a Raw Holiday Slam courtesy Slam Wrestling Entertainment. They're back in Lahti on July the 19th. Although Slam Wrestling Entertainment has long been synonymous with Finland and Helsinki in particular, they have branched out across all of Scandinavia, even into Estonia now. They have cemented themselves as one of the dominant players in the entire Northern European scene, which has really exploded in the past 3 years. So much of this is down to the tireless work of the godfather of the Nordics, Starbuck, who, you would assume, with a name like that, has a very pricey coffee habit. I did the research. There's only one non-stop flight that'll get us from Helsinki in Finland over to Singapore, because I'm not doing that layover in Istanbul. It's a 13-hour ride to make it to the Garden City, and that's where we're heading for GrappleMax's Pro Wrestling Festival 2. Last year, GrappleMax delivered the inaugural festival in the month of November, but the sequel is due out July 26th. They'll be back at the Jurong Spring Community Club, and this year's Pro Wrestling Festival will feature the crowning of the first ever GrappleMax Rising Champion. Takes place in a fatal 4-way match, and fingers crossed, there'll be an appearance by my new favorite tag team, Aussie Aussie Aussie. And for our final stop, we've got to head to Okinawa in southern Japan, but we won't even have to leave the airport when we get there, because Ryukyu Dragon Pro Wrestling is teaming up with Puzzle Pro Wrestling from Taiwan on July 6th to present Naha Airport Pro Wrestling. Now, if you are at all concerned, all the wrestling activities will take place inside the airport, not out on the runway. And I can't help but feel like the recurring trend of wrestling on trains in Japan is partially responsible for this new trend of wrestling at airports, but that's just a working theory of mine. Ryukyu Dragon Pro Wrestling is the southernmost promotion in all of Japan, and they take pro wrestling everywhere, to theaters and studios and shopping malls, and yes, even airports. So where else is pro wrestling taking place in the month of July? You realize this entire list is barely the tip of the iceberg. Will you tell me about a live wrestling event near you? Maybe it's one you happen to be appearing on. Drop it for me down below in the comments. And if you want to explore more places around the world where wrestling is taking place, I keep all episodes of Pro Wrestling Near Me in a handy playlist, which you can click on right now.